would like to know, does Primavera encumber personal services, professional services? My understanding is Primavera, which everybody thinks has all the costs, doesn't have the professional service costs, the architects and the engineers, which I never really understood before. I figured Primavera was our management system.
They don't put their professional
No.
costs into Primavera?
No.
Why?
Well,
They don't handle it.
that's another story. So but that's a good question.
Okay, so does Primavera
Record professional services contracts.
So kind of the soft costs?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes, soft costs.
I think you need, that question's way too general. I mean,
What
that
was it?
doesn't even say, are we recording? You can do it. Are we, is it getting done in our case?
Maybe it should be why is it not?
Yeah.
Why isn't Primavera being used?
Well, I mean, I don't, I'd rather ask, because that assumes we know that it's not, right?
When will it be used?
That's right.
So does Primavera record professional service contracts? If not,
Why not?
why not?
That's a good statement.
Are we still on SGI?
Yes.
Any more?
Just one other, I'm a little concerned, I think I mentioned this earlier, when President Groves came back and said that, have her give us all your questions. I worry that, okay, they're just gonna limit their, like if we don't ask the question, they're not gonna look at it, you know what I'm saying? But they're not really gonna do a forensic anything, they're just gonna answer our questions.
No, but they
Well-
have to do forensic audit.
We're not privy to what the grand jury was, what their questions came. And that report may inform us to ask more questions.
That's true.
Well, as I understand the forensic audit business, any forensic auditor is not gonna be limited to any questions the client asks. Because that's like doing a agreed upon procedures audit, you only audit what the client asks you to audit. And I don't think any legitimate forensic auditor would. There's an association, I never knew this. There's only 40,000 of these people in the country that do this, that are certified to do this. I understand it, so I just can't believe that they would limit it to.
Well, and maybe it's just the skeptic side. I just, it's just like when they don't, make sure you get all those questions in as soon as possible, and then next month they come out, well, here's your answers, we're done.
So, to me, this actually, I haven't even thought about this, but it kind of raises the broader question of,
Why
is there a scope, or is there, we're gonna do a forensic audit. What does that really mean? Hopefully, they're not just gonna take the list of questions that we and the board generates and go, they're saying answer them. I guess I'm sort of expecting that they're gonna look into all this stuff that Mr. Clay put together and try and follow down all the leads that he gave them, but I don't really know how to explain that in terms of what I think.
Well, no, but
the
that's
scope
why
of the
I
audit
had
should
raised my point,
be.
because I
Yeah.
feel like,
Yes,
I-
yes.
I don't think we ought to give them any questions. I think we should tell them, we want to review the scope for the forensic audit. That's what we should tell them.
no, that's not a bad idea. Because if we give them the questions,
Right.
then they come back, okay, here's the scope, we answered your questions.
And it's really interesting that Groves is doing this independently, because this isn't the board's direction to ask the CBOC the question. This is Todd's Grove direction. And Todd Grove is the one that hasn't put this thing on the agenda for a month and a half.
What do you think of that?
questions, but have an open-ended thing. These are just the beginning. This is just the
Bullet
beginning.
points.
We want to review the scope, and we want to kind of leave the time period for when we can ask questions.
Open-ended.
Well, you can't really have it open-ended, but say till the end of July, or whenever, you know what, there's, grand jury report, I'm assuming that they're doing a report on this, because, they could just take a pass at it and not do a report, but if they do a report, if they issue a report, they give, I think the school board has an opportunity, or the district has an opportunity to respond. So, that takes us into the end of September. If we're not satisfied with any of the responses that we see coming out in the end of September, we may want to still continue to ask questions.
But my point is, I don't think we should recognize Todd Grove as speaking for the board, when the board has not even had a meeting to discuss this. And they made 3 amendments so far to the April 29th meeting minutes, right? 3 amendments. Those minutes were you're supposed to report out at the end of a closed session what you did, and subsequent to me, there's been 3 different amendments to get it right. So,
Well, I think that we have our role.
Right.
What the board does is kind of on them, because the public is watching. They have to make take some action that is going to say, we were going to turn on all the lights and we're gonna let everybody know what's going on. And our role is we wanna be a part of that, we want to sit at the table, we wanna have these questions, and of course, we should have the ability to ask more questions. I mean, if we're part of the group that's putting together a scope of service, and we see things that we hadn't thought of, or maybe something happens that the grand jury report comes out, then we should have the ability to add anything we want. But I think this is when we're trying to just lay the groundwork so that we have a kind of an idea of where we're going and what are the things that we are extracting from the Dennis Clay documents that are really very, very, any significant to us. But I think, yeah, we can't wait for a lot of those things to happen, but we have to at least, the CBOC said, we want to take a stand, we want to have a position here, and this is what we're going to do. So I'll make that clear tomorrow when I make my presentation. I will take, this committee's, whatever you want to do and how you decide to do this in terms of these questions. Maybe you want to submit them all in writing at our joint meeting on the 17th. I mean, we can do a lot of different ways. We can, make sure that everybody's aware of the questions that we want to ask. But I think the first step is just to get these questions thought through so that we say these are the things that, to the public tomorrow, I can say, these are the questions we have, these are the concerns that we're expressing, and we want to be a part of the process.
That's an interesting idea to present these questions at the joint meeting, because that'll be a properly noticed meeting, and assuming this item is on the agenda, we can expect board members to comment on what we've done. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, it's about what we can expect.
Well, I think
Not if my
50-50
ideas are-
whether it's even gonna be on the
Yeah,
agenda.
I was gonna say, who's got final authorization
Todd
about
Grove.
that
Todd Grove.
agenda?
Well,
Theoretically, it's a
the
mutually
agenda on the
agreed-
17th, you're saying?
Yeah.
The agenda on the 17th is, I've already prepared mine, which of course has some of this. I will be meeting with Dr. Harder and President Groves tomorrow to merge our agendas, but I want to make it clear that this is our meeting. This is not a scheduled Board of
No, but
Education
it's
meeting,
going
it's a
to be.
CBOC
In the
meeting.
past, we've had these joint meetings and we've not got our item on the agenda, so.
Well, yeah, that
So it should be.
should not be the case.
Well, I know it should not be the case.
No, will not be the case.
And after your meeting tomorrow, hopefully you'll have a better idea about if we're gonna have the specific item on the joint meeting agenda, and you can adjust your comments for tomorrow night, perhaps based on that.
Yes.
Because, see, I would argue that that should be the only meeting item on the agenda, because that would assume, you only got an hour and a half, right? How much time?
For our joint meeting?
Yeah. How much time does it start at 6?
Yeah, 6.
And the board is not having a meeting after, right? So it's just our.
The meetings will be held here, so it's a special meeting.
I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but what could be more important?
I agree.
One on.
Well, they might want to talk about the fiscal impact of charter schools.